The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook. The thoughts and opinions of this program are strictly those of the host and the guests, not necessarily shared by anyone in the universe, let alone shared by the host and the guest. Dimension, a measurable extent of some kind, such as length, breadth, depth, or height, an aspect or feature of a situation, problem, or thing. Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Knowledge, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject, awareness of familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. Imagination, the faculty or action of forming new ideas, or images or concepts or external objects not present to the senses. The ability of the mind to be creative or resourceful, the part of the mind that imagines things. A dimension, as vast as space and is as timeless as infinity, between light and dark, somewhere in the middle of science and superstition, lying between fear and knowledge, the dimension of imagination. Welcome to Bible Story Time. Gibeon's Con Artists, Joshua 9, 1-27. The victories of Israel became known to all the kings west of Jordan, in the hills, in the foothills, and all along the coastal plain of the Mediterranean Sea as far north as Lebanon. These were the kings of the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. They all came together and joined forces to fight against Joshua and the Israelites. But the people of Gibeon, who were Hivites, heard what Joshua had done to Jericho and Ai, and they decided to deceive him. They went, got some food, and loaded their donkeys with worn-out sacks and patched-up wineskins. They put on ragged clothes and worn-out sandals that had been mended. The bread they took with them was dry and moldy. Then they went to the camp at Gilgal and said to Joshua and the Israelites, "We have come from a distant land, and we want you to make a treaty with us." But the Israelites said, "Why should we make a treaty with you? Maybe you live nearby." They said to Joshua, "We are at your service." Joshua asked them, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" Then they told him this story. "We have come from a very distant land, sir, because we have heard of the Lord your God. We have heard about everything that he did in Egypt and what he did to the two Amorite kings east of the Jordan, King Sihon of Heshbon and King Og of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth. Our leaders and all the people that live in our land told us to get some food ready for a trip and to go and meet you. We were told to put ourselves at your service and ask you to make a treaty with us. Look at our bread. When we left home with it and started out to meet you, it was still warm. But look, now it is dry and moldy. When we filled the wineskins, they were new. But look, they are torn. Our clothes and sandals are worn out from the long trip." The Israelites accepted some food from them, but did not consult the Lord about it. Joshua made a treaty of friendship with the people of Gibeon and allowed them to live there. Now the leaders of the community of Israel gave their solemn promise to keep the treaty. 3 days after the treaty had been made, the Israelites learned that these people did indeed live nearby. So the people of Israel started out and 3 days later arrived at the cities where the people lived: Gibeon, Shephra, Beeroth, and Kirath Jearim. But the Israelites could not kill them, because their leaders had made a solemn promise to them in the name of the Lord. Israel's God. All the people complained to the leaders about this, but they answered, "We have made our solemn promise to them in the name of the Lord God of Israel. We cannot harm them. We must let them live because of our promise. If we don't, God will punish us. Well, let them live, but they will have to cut wood and carry water for us." This is what the leaders suggest. Joshua ordered the people of Gibeon to be brought to him, and he asked them, "Why did you deceive us and tell us that you were from far away when you live right here? Because you did this, God has condemned you. Your people will always be slaves, cutting wood and carrying water for the sanctuary of my God." They answered, "We did it, sir, because we learned that it was really true that the Lord your God has commanded his servant Moses to give you the whole land and to kill the people living in it as you advanced. We did it because we were terrified of you. We were in fear of our lives. Now we are in your power. Do with us what you think is right." So this is what Joshua did. He protected them and did not allow the people of Israel to kill them. But at the same time, he made them slaves to cut wood and carry water for the people of Israel and for the Lord's altar. To this day, they have continued to do this work in the place where the Lord has chosen to be worshipped. If you enjoyed this story, share it with others. You can do that on social media. Find me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, at MyBuddyJimmy, and on YouTube at MyBuddyJimmy101.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.